Did you know you could literally change your reality just by changing your beliefs? Your life right now, the way you think, the way you feel, the results you get, it's all just a reflection of what you believe. If you feel stuck, lost, or like success is just slipping through your fingers, it's not because you're not capable, it's because you lack the awareness to see the beliefs that are holding you back. But the second you learn to take control of these beliefs, everything changes. Don't believe me? Well, I want you to imagine a salesperson. Let's just say this guy is an aspiring salesperson, and his dream is to make 6 figures in sales. But there's one problem. Deep down, he believes that salespeople are sleazy, and they don't really care about the customer, and they only care about the money. And surprisingly enough, no matter how hard he tries, he just can't hit 6 figures. He stays stuck in 5 figures. He hits a ceiling. He's stuck at making $2,000 a month, and he doesn't know why. Well, believe it or not, the thing that's been holding him back from making 6 figures and achieving his dream isn't actually his leads, his skill, his work environment. It's none of that. It's actually his own belief that sales is a sleazy business. See, if we do some critical thinking, people with this belief, whenever faced with a customer, deep down he thinks he's a sleazy person, which then results in him giving a 50% effort. Let's just say 50%. But this half-assed effort that was caused by this belief results in a half-assed result. Let's say he makes a 2K commission when he easily could have made a 10K commission, for example. So ultimately, the reason for his low commission was because of his half-assed effort, which was caused by a belief that isn't aligned with what he wants. And this is exactly what I mean when I say your beliefs equal your reality. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to break out of your old patterns that no longer serve you so you can start creating a life that you actually want to live. But before we get into shifting your beliefs for success, we need to define the direction and destination, aka what success means to you. Because there's no point in war if there's nothing to fight for. So step 1 would be to define your dream life. What exactly constitutes success for you? Is it making 6 figures like that salesman? Is it winning an Olympic medal? Is it starting a family? Or is it reaching Grandmaster Bader on Jerkmate? See, whatever your definition of success is, I need you to write it down. I need you to be crystal clear about it because you need to know exactly what you're working towards. See, I feel like the biggest reason people feel lost nowadays is because they just lack clarity on what they actually want. They never took the time to really question themselves and ask, what do they truly want from life? So to help you do that, I want you to think of what truly fulfills you. And what I mean by that is I don't want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about other people. When you think about yourself or from the ego, a lot of times it's usually shallow things like money, status, validation. But making more money isn't really a successful life because you're just going to end up wanting more and more and more. So instead of money being your definition of success, it would be better if you were to choose something that helps society or helps other people. So yes, you can define success by saying you want to make 6 figures, but how do you want to make the 6 figures? Is it by making an app that helps people? Is it by selling insurance? And in the same way, instead of focusing on the status of winning an Olympic medal, think about the amount of people you're going to inspire from your win. Same goes for starting a family. This transcends the ego. Starting a family is no longer about yourself, but about your wife, about your future kids, and about your legacy. And becoming a Grandmaster Bader and Jerkmate is self-explanatory, right? So what all of these things have in common is that they're not ego-driven pursuits. They focus on fulfillment. And in the same way, when you're defining your destination or your definition of success, I want you to think from that fulfillment paradigm. Now, after you found out what you truly want from life and you are now clear of where you want to go, the next step would be to map out your limits. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to define my success as a money-making course. Okay, now, again, this is just an example. So anyways, what I mean by mapping out your limits is that I want you to imagine yourself as this energy ball. And this energy ball is constantly moving forward and improving towards the destination. But there are certain beliefs that act like a wall, keeping you stagnant from living the life you actually dream of. So what we're going to do now is to define every single belief that is holding you back from your dream life. And to do that, we're gonna have to take a neutral stance and start asking if this belief helps me get closer to my dream life, helps me get there faster, or does it help me get there easier? Now, if the answer is no, 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 then that means this current belief is actively holding you back from living your dream life. And if one of the answers are yes, then you should definitely keep the belief. But if it's all no, then that's how you know for certain that it's a belief that is holding you back. So the point is for you to do this over and over and over until you've defined every single belief that is holding you back from your dream life. So in the case of a money-making course, if I have a belief that courses are a scam, then I'm not going to succeed in selling courses because deep down I believe it's a scam. It serves no purpose but to block me from reaching this goal. Another example could be a belief that money is all about luck. Because if I truly believe it's up to luck, then it's nothing I can teach because luck is purely up to chance, right? So for step 2, depending on your destination and your definition of success, I want you to start analyzing your beliefs and ask, does it help you get closer? Does it help you get there faster? Or does it help you get there easier? And again, to repeat myself, if it's no, 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 then we're gonna move on to step 3, which is dismantling the walls. So the next step is obviously answering the question, how do we dismantle these beliefs? Well, we first need to ask, where do these beliefs even come from? And the answer to that is past experiences. Particularly influential experiences. Moments that felt real enough to provide you with enough evidence to convince you that they were the truth. Because beliefs are what you believe to be true, right? But the fact is, most beliefs are purely subjective. Outside of all known objective truths, your beliefs are not right or wrong. So it is all based on the past experience which provides the evidence to prove that it's the truth in your eyes. So knowing there are no right or wrong answers, I would argue that it's better to have a belief that supports you rather than holds you back, right? Because at the end of the day, if both beliefs are wrong, why not choose the one that helps you reach your goal better? So to give you a better understanding, let's take the example of the belief that sushi is bad. See, the reason why someone can have this belief is due to every single experience of them eating sushi was a bad experience. And it doesn't matter if their dad or their mom or their sister or their brother said sushi is so good, you should keep trying it, it's so good, it's so good. But every time they've tried sushi, it's always been bad. From an objective standpoint, maybe the sushi contained old ingredients, which then caused them to have a bad experience. Maybe the restaurant didn't know how to make good sushi, so it turned into a bad experience, and then so on and so forth. So if every single experience of them having sushi was bad, it's impossible for them to believe that sushi is good. Because there's just undeniable evidence that sushi is a bad experience. But is this objectively true? Is it a fact that sushi is bad? Well, no. It's neither good or bad. It's purely subjective. Someone might say they love sushi, someone might say they hate sushi, right? There is no right or wrong answer, it's purely up to the subject. So yes, ultimately, the only thing causing you to believe it's true is the experiences and the evidence that points it out to be true. So to dismantle a limiting belief or a belief that is holding you back, all you have to do is plant a new seed in your head. Now that you're aware that the current belief isn't objectively true, you can introduce a new belief and plant the seed in your head. But as of right now, this new belief lacks the evidence for you to claim it as your truth. So all we have to do now is provide our own evidence that support this new belief. And we could do that in the form of experiences. So for example, let's take the belief that courses are a scam, and the new belief being courses aren't a scam. If we do a little critical thinking, the reason why someone may believe courses are a scam is because the last time they bought a course, they didn't get their money worth, which is an experience that supports the belief that courses are a scam, which then turns into evidence. And basically that evidence was strong enough for the person to accept it as a truth, which then became a belief. So with this new belief that courses aren't a scam, we need to provide sufficient and more evidence than the one that is currently there. And we'll do that by creating our own experience. And we can do that by buying another course or trying out another course. And if you get your money's worth from the new course, that becomes new evidence that the new belief that courses aren't a scam is true. So there's +1 evidence. And this creates a loop. After one evidence, it goes back to the belief courses aren't a scam. And then they experience another course that turns out to give them their money's worth again, which then adds another piece of evidence. And the point is to continue to experience things that support this new belief, which then create enough evidence to the point that it overpowers or overshadows the old evidence on the old belief. And the moment that happens, a wall is demolished. So if you repeat this again and again, the moment all the walls break, your dream life ceases to become a dream. It becomes reality. And that, in a nutshell, is how you can change and control your reality by changing your beliefs. Anyways, just know that I'm rooting for you.